Right, the health and wellness industry is growing at a fast rate, 21% across India. And why is it that a lot of people from the West are flocking to India to sort of seek spiritual guidance, to go through various resorts and get that kind of relaxation and spirituality? Let's take a look.
And one of the reasons why we're living in an amazing age is that we live a lot longer. Up to 50 to 100 years ago, people were living between the ages of 25 to 45. There was no penicillin, etc., etc. So now we're having, particularly in developed economies, we're having an opportunity to live to the age of 90 or 100. And of course, amongst all of that comes this expectation of having a better life. And yoga is this wonderful tool that we can use to improve our immune system. And it's amazing now, if you go across the world, it doesn't matter, I'm from Australia, or you go to the United States, or all through the Eastern European countries, how much fascination and interest there is in yoga. और मैं एक फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज कंपनी जो मोबाइल बैंकिंग दी जाता है उसी कंपनी में है, और मेरा सारा साथी लोग जो है ना सब हिंदुस्तानी है, और सब मेरा उम्र से बहुत कम है, और सब को किसी का कोई तकलीफ है, बीमारी है, कोई मौसम बदलता है, ये दुआ लेता है, तो लेकिन मुझे ज़्यादा नहीं लगता है, और ये पूछता है क्यों, तो मैं बोलता योगा, तो मैं भी उन लोगों को भी थोड़ा सा योग सिखाया है. Yes, but also what's very surprising is that a lot of Indians have migrated abroad for economic reasons, and they've established themselves and they've done very well in abroad. And yet now many of them are returning to India specifically to visit yoga institutions and Ayurvedic institutions to study, learn, and then take that back with them. And quite often many of them are inspired when they're abroad by meeting fellow citizens, like in Australia, many Australians who are fascinated and have explained their experiences about how meditation, breathing, and all of these things have basically changed their immune system, have really gone on the upmarket. Even Bali has gone on the upmarket. So yes, when you're staying in a 7-star or 6-star resort, if we call it like that, you actually expect to have a yoga teacher. You actually expect to have some sort of Ayurveda. You actually expect to have Yoga Nidra and all these sort of techniques. Now, I must give recognition to the Taj Group, because the Taj Group is also trying to bring that about. And I'm sure the doors will open. And as they open the doors, I can assure you there will be a mass, but on all levels, not just at the low end, but at the top end, of people wanting to really come to the heart or to the source of where these practices have originated from.
There are a couple of facts. The hard facts why India is a very promising medical or a wellness destination is very well known. The facts are the great expertise which is available, the low costs, the essence of Indian philosophy where the guest is treated as a god. Atitiya Deva Bhava, that is, guest is next to God. Two things I would like to add. One, Mr. Thomas has already mentioned, to relax the visa regulations, to make it more friendly, to make it more accessible, to make it more contemporary, more popular with the younger generations in the West. Other thing would be, a better, if the rupee stabilizes as compared to the more popular currencies in the world, like the US dollar or the Great Britain pound or euro, for example. So parity and the stabilization of the rupee.
Definitely been there right from the 40s and 50s. You can see through Swami Shivananji that there's been a fascinating and also an education about yoga. So when you're talking to Westerners, you'd be surprised at their Sanskrit, their knowledge of Hatha Yoga or Swara Yoga and the different types of yogas, how to incorporate them with their daily life. If you go to Microsoft, NASA, any of these big institutions, वो सब हिंदुस्तानी, सब अंग्रेज लोग सब योगा कर रहे हैं, सब ध्यान कर रहे हैं, वो अपना कंपनी में खुद कर रहा है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अगर आप जाएंगे तो बड़ा-बड़ा टेलीफोन कंपनीज, कॉल सेंटर्स में कंपल्सरी है कि उसको स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट कहता है ना, लेकिन वो सचमुच में योगा क्लासेस दे रहा है. और क्यों दे रहा है? Because what happens is when you have a company and you have sick leave, this affects a huge time.
Absolutely. Downtime.
Even you have anybody who has absolutely no interest in yoga and he's running a big company, and you do an experiment and you show him that you get some of the employees, वो सबको योगा सिखाता है और फिर देखते हैं इसका बीमारी कम होता है, उसका स्वास्थ्य ठीक रहता है, वो ज़्यादा दिन ऑफिस में आ जाता है, तो वो बोलते हैं चलो लगाओ सब. ये हिंदुस्तान में भी हो रहा है. Now we are having in Western universities things like a faculty of complementary medicine.
Right.
And what's actually happening is these are people who are going through or doing an MBBS, but they're also being allowed to study Ayurveda, acupuncture, and Ayurveda, yoga, dhyan, all of these different subjects.